We have the pleasure to be there for sadness.
Maybe the name of this episode is Pleasure to Be There for Sadness. Yokai Films. You might know us best from making the show you're watching right now.
Mike and Chris. Chris and Mike. Those two.
Ah! The tables have turned!
Oh no.
For 10 years, you have followed us around and interviewed us. And now you're sitting in the seats to be interviewed.
What's your favorite flavor of Laffy Taffy? No. It's great.
That's banana. Sound good? Oh, you 90% of what we do, it's just the two of us.
We should fight a lot more than we do.
You guys have worked together for a really long time.
Yes.
On a lot of very strange projects. I was wondering what your favorite was and why.
Probably the feature we did together. I don't even think we would be doing Days if me and Mike didn't do our first feature, Heaven is Hell.
Master, take one.
Zombie low angle, take one.
And listen to them guys when heels freeze.
We had to film in a cave, and at that time there is a, and I'm not making this up, a bat epidemic in the caves in Illinois. One of our actors,
So it's a toss-up who it was, and I forget who it landed on, but it's either because of this dude Dave Bertucci or Clint.
one of those people said, we have a cave that you could film at
Doesn't
Statesville.
actually have bad in it.
Yeah, in City of the Dead. And I had an agent at the time who was like, I'm gonna go out and pitch this. What else do you have? We had run into the haunt because we used the cave location in Statesville. And so I hired some people to shoot like a promo about Statesville, like a behind the scenes promo. Seriously, not even knowing that there was a Days of the Living Dead that had already existed.
We had no idea. It was this weird, very gradual on-ramp of, well, let's get footage of this in case the show gets picked up so that we're not losing time while decisions are being made. We sort of realized this isn't going to pan out into a TV show. You'd figure out, like, oh, here's a couple bucks here, here's a couple bucks there. And it just sort of became what it was because we liked doing it.
Nobody wants to interview Mike, so I'm gonna interview Mike. Well, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm filming Days of the Living Dead, your favorite web reality show.
F you, Mike Meyer. F you, Mike Meyer.
I had a lot of social anxiety coming here, you know, and both Jessies were like the most welcoming people immediately. Kyle has always been an and then he slowly got nice. I wish that we captured the moment where you started to become nice to us. There's a Trans World interview day.
Oh,
where
yeah.
I hated you.
Yeah, I wouldn't take my sunglasses off and I kept telling you to f off.
You guys gonna get a bunch of stuff. How do you feel about what you got?
Next question.
No, f you.
F off, next question.
No. That's the question.
We bought some stuff.
Next question.
We were outsiders filming Zombie Army. And then at some point, we're Zombie Army filming Zombie Army.
By building these pavilions on decks.
Hold on a second. Hold up.
What? I was flowing!
Not your microphone.
What is the weirdest, wildest thing you overheard me say on a live mic?
If it was weird, it definitely made it in the show. Only things that like definitely didn't make it into the show was like, this could make it difficult for John to maintain business relationships.
It was negligent, and I'm not taking any liability for his negligence. Will we ever get a gag reel?
I don't know if there'd be a gag reel because there's not like necessarily a right thing to do for Days. And usually if people are acting like monkeys, that's gonna go in the show.
Yeah, the gags would just be uncomfortable things that people wouldn't enjoy.
Yeah, just like
like actors actually having breakdowns.
let's check out this panic attack.
Somebody find out who started the fucking show.
Last night we had actual angry screaming at each other.
I know that's what you wanted. That's what you paid admission for, the drama, the conflict.
We thought we really had to capitalize on the yelling, the drama.
The good stuff.
The good stuff. Maybe showing a teenager on their worst day in a way that will be showcased on the internet for years is not a thing I want to stake in, even if it makes things entertaining for 15 seconds.
I didn't like that you were filming that.
No one ever does. I mean, when it's like John and Kyle and Gimlick, like, fine.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I'm sure you're experiencing this now with being part of the build crew. It's like, oh, Mike and Chris are here. Things are gonna suck.
We can tell that you guys as the builders do not want us to be there because we f up your whole day.
On the topic of horse performing horse for the camera.
I've never taken apart a very heavy thing just to put it back together on camera.
But being part of that process is exciting because you're like, they're fucked. What? They're 17 months behind? That's more than a year, John the Flamboy.
Is there anything you really miss about Statesville that we don't have here at Hell's Gate?
Everything.
Same.
I miss Statesville so much.
What is the biggest difference between filming at Statesville and filming here?
This is a real sweaty analogy, so bear with me here. Like, if you were like a boxer and you were like fighting in, you know, like a huge pay-per-view in Vegas with all the amenities, everything you could possibly want in a show, that's Hell's Gate. You want a bare knuckle fight in like a shipping container? That's
shot with CCT cameras.
Shots with CCT cameras, and it makes it sound like one's worse than the other.
In Statesville, I think we would shoot things more frantically. Here, it's a lot of like slow, beautiful, wide shots to show this space, and things are flowing and poetic. And there it was just like, you had to shoot it like a war doc.
What was the hardest thing, the most difficult thing you've ever had to film in a Days Living Dead episode?
It was definitely being there when the Fear sank. Like, actually being on the pier watching it.
Oh, you were there?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, I didn't know you guys
Yeah. I was literally in my apartment editing the episode about the Fear. And I get a call from you, and you said, I think something's happening. They had shut Lakeshore Drive down. The winds were so high. We had like a little 40-pound case that we kept all of our stuff in at the time. And when I was going back to the car, I was pulling this case through the air. Like, it was parallel to the ground.
Like Mary Poppins?
Yeah.
This is where we were supposed to be.
And like, as if nature is mocking us, or the south side of the pier is mocking us, there's actually sunshine over there.
It's peaceful, flat, money-making water.
And there's parts in that footage, especially probably one of the best shots we've ever gotten, where T's holding your hand and you're watching your dreams sink.
What were some of your best memories while working here?
I just loved any time we'd be filming the manager meeting out in front of the house. It's like old friends who've known each other forever. It's just this amazing vibe. And you look down that little gangway in front of Statesville, and you see the autumnal sun going down behind a cornfield. And you're like, get out of town. I get to see this?
Like for me, when Jesse's mom passed, like to me, that's when I felt the most like family.
You're an amazing bunch of human beings. An amazing, beautiful bunch of humans. And don't let anyone ever tell you any different outside of these walls.
She's gonna cry in the back row. Get those tears, Chris! America loves to see us cry! Do you get off on making us cry? Do you sit at home looking at your work and giggling and imagining how it's going to emotionally wreck us when we see that moment?
Yeah, did you ever see the Dark Crystal and they look in the thing and it sucked out their life force and made me younger?
Okay,
yeah. My job in the sort of like ecosystem of the company is to like help people process and help people see what they do from a third person perspective. Most people don't get to do that with what they do. It's like, I go and do the job, and even if it's amazing, it's all processed within, you know, the meat column. That's the coolest thing.
We went out there as kids, and that's where we turn into adults. Yeah, I guess that meant a lot, huh?
You never really get to see somebody live their dream to its fullest, and I think we get to see you do that for 10 years.
We get to just spiritually drink your blood every time you come out. It's like, give it to me. And then we send some of that back out through the show, just like, have some of this blood.
This one is actually from Devin. It's gonna be a little sappy, but she said, did you think that this series would impact the haunt industry and people beyond that the way that it did? Because without Days, there would be no Bruises, no Sharky. There would be no Best Friends. There would be nothing of that.
What brought you to Statesville initially?
You guys. That's what I'm saying, Days of the Living Dead.
Devin was the kid that watched Days of the Living Dead, and it was Days of the Living Dead that inspired her to come be a haunt actor.
People were coming up to us and saying, this show is why I do what I do. This show is why I am who I am.
I did want to say, like, just thanks to you guys, because you've captured, like, a lot of, like, the most lovely and pivotal moments of my life here.
You know, it really means a lot that you can capture these moments for us.
We have gotten a lot of feedback over the years about how much you guys change people's lives.
Because of you, people got to watch me grow up, and one day I'll get to show that to my kids and my kids' kids, and they'll know that I got to be happy. There's no way I could thank you enough.
And we can't create stuff that we create without you guys having faith in us.
We can't thank you enough for giving us this decade of your life.
Shoot for the stars, chase your dreams.
Aim for the
Do all that stuff.
Sky, if you miss, you reach the sky.
If you reach for the stars and miss, you get impaled on a tree coming down.